morning from Alaska. It's very windy out here on deck. Today we will be at Hubbard Glacier, and tomorrow we will be at Glacier Bay. So me and Sophia decided to sleep in this morning because we can, because it's a sea day. And then we got out and we walked this deck that I'm on right now. 3 laps equals 1 mile. Good way to start your day. Getting your heart pumping, breathing in the cold Alaska air. And now we're going to go do some indoor activities, and there is a watercolors class that she's really excited about. Okay, so we are up at the Crow's Nest. This is where the art studio is and the watercolor class is going to be. And Sophia is seated and ready to draw. I'm not going to do it because the class is packed and she barely got a seat in there. But the Crow's Nest is where everybody is right now. It is packed in there. Let's see the final product. I think you did good. Was the class fun? It's really dark in the area. We were able to sit in for the buffet, but they have an amazing Asian and Indian section over here. And they have this huge pan of like fried noodles and vegetables. And it's got a lot of cabbage in there. That's really good. I've got chicken tikka masala. There's some fried rice in here. Some sushi. The sushi, they have California rolls, tempura rolls, and a chicken teriyaki, which I've never had before. So this is a pretty good lunch. This is the bomb right here. How's that sushi? Well, we are outside on the back deck. The official Polar Plunge happens in about 30 minutes, but Sophia is ready to go. She's got her swimsuit on. We are sailing into a glacier, so this is about as Polar Plunge as you're gonna get, and she's ready for this. The pool's heated. So she jumped in and realized it's not so cold. It's cold out here, cool out here, not cold, but the pool's heated. And we are currently sailing into the bay or the fjord where Hubbard Glacier is. So we have been out in the open Pacific all day. About an hour ago we started coming into the bay, and we can see land on both sides of us. And if you look towards the forward of the ship, you can see Hubbard Glacier coming into view. So these are mountains all around us, but the clouds are sitting so far down that you can't even see the mountain. You can see like, it's more than this much, but this is what I can see all around the base of the mountains, and the clouds are hitting really low. But you can tell we're going towards a glacier because of the color of the water. It's got that beautiful blue-green color. So when the glaciers break apart, there's glacial silt that goes into the water and gives it that beautiful color. The ship's turned a little bit, so I can't see Hubbard Glacier right now from the back of the ship. I could a little while ago, but those people up front in the Crow's Nest are getting a very good view. I think once we get up there, the ship will rotate around, so those of us that are back here will be able to see it nicely. There is a giant piece of beautifully blue ice out here. I can't tell if it's floating or if it's the top of an iceberg coming out, but it doesn't look like it's moving, so I don't think it's floating. It's kind of far away from the ship. It's huge, and it's the most beautiful blue color I've ever seen. We're sailing in closer, and I can see Hubbard Glacier off in the distance. And the closer we get, the cooler it gets. So right now, I mean, it feels great. I don't know what the temperature is, but I'm out here in a thin, long sleeve shirt. I have flip-flops on. Sophia and other kids are in the pool right now, but we're not cold at all. Sophia is officially signed up for the Polar Bear Plunge. Hers is the first name on the list. They are over here scooping ice into buckets because ice will go in this heated pool before they jump in. And we're gonna be pretty darn close to the glacier, which is gonna make the air temperature a little cooler too. So this is really the perfect place to do it.
So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Everybody in the water. Okay, let's give them a big round of applause. To be inducted into our
Is it cold now? I want a hug. No hugs. And now they're playing Ice Ice Baby. That was fun. So more people did the Polar Bear Plunge than I expected. But yeah, it's a heated pool. They dumped ice in. It probably didn't make much of a difference. It's when you get out and stand in the cool air is when you're cold. I will always tell someone, if this is your first trip to Alaska or possibly your only trip to Alaska, get a balcony so you've got that private space to sit out and enjoy the glaciers. But this is not my first trip and it's not my only trip, so I booked an interior, lucked up and got an ocean view. but now I am enjoying the outer decks for glacier viewing. So we are sailing into Hubbard Glacier. We're getting really close. The mountains are getting really big on the sides of us. It's so funny. There were 3 kids in the pool. Then there was the Polar Plunge. Those 3 same kids are still in the pool. So they're having a good old time as we go up to the glaciers. But this back deck is so chill. There's so many people in the crow's nest. It's packed, it's busy. But right now, that's the best viewing point because we're sailing into the glacier and the front is getting that best view. But I know that the ship is gonna turn. So those of us on the back, we just have to wait. We have to be a little patient, and then we're gonna get that view, and we're not gonna have glass blocking our way. So we're sailing towards Hubbard Glacier, but there is a large, and I mean the biggest I've ever seen, ice field leading up to the glacier. So this has really been breaking off a lot lately. And because there's so much ice in the water, it prevents us getting any closer. We can go up to the ice field, but can't go through the ice field. So we won't be able to get as close to Hubbard Glacier as we've gotten in Glacier Bay. And the captain just came on and explained all this and said that hopefully tomorrow we will be able to get closer to Marjorie Glacier and the ones that are in Glacier Bay. But we're still gonna get a good view of it. We just won't be able to get very close. But I tell you what, this has been a great trip for glacier viewing, and we still have more tomorrow because we came in early. So we did the Kenai Fjords National Park, which was a boat tour, which we went out to the glacier. And then today we're here at Hubbard Glacier, and tomorrow we'll be in Glacier Bay. So the name of this cruise is Glacier Discovery because you're coming either northbound or southbound. We're coming southbound. And so we get that extra day near glaciers where traditionally you just have Glacier Bay National Park. I'm not complaining. I can see it. I can see it from, well, nah, the ship's turned where I can't see it right this second, but I've been seeing it for the last hour as we sail in. I'm still happy. Wow, the temperature has dropped significantly from an hour ago when we were sailing into where we're at right now, this close to the glacier. So the ship is turning right now, so I'm able to see it. Now, Sophia, get out of the pool, come see the glacier. She's got to get out and see the glacier. But we're turning pretty quickly right now, so let me go catch it. It's just absolutely incredible. So even though we can't get close, we can still see a lot. And I think it's actually beautiful seeing it from the distance with all the ice in the front. We do have a wildlife guide that's coming on and giving us commentary. And she just said that over here, where you can't see the mountain because it's completely covered in clouds, is Mount St. Elias, which is the 3rd highest peak in North America, right there, but we can't see it. She's like, it's there, I promise it's there. It's at our 2 o'clock. So we got very lucky seeing Mount Denali, which is the highest peak. Can't see the 3rd, but we've got a beautiful glacier right here. Now this is cool. So I just love seeing all the people out to take this in, and it's just amazing the temperature change that we have felt since we've been out here, because I was actually a little on the warm side when we first came out, having a long sleeve shirt on because it wasn't cold at all. Where I'm standing right now, I'm fine because the ship's blocking most of the cold and the wind, but if you stand on the edge, it's really cold. I mean, like face numbing cold. Just right over there. Craziness. And Sophie is still in the pool. Actually, right now inside that pool is probably warmer than out here because it is a heated pool, so she's good. She's the only person in the pool right now. There's people in the hot tubs. But I did get her to get out and come and see the glacier. She put her robe on and she's like, it's freezing out here. I said, go get back in the pool. In case you're wondering, starboard side's getting all the action. I'm not sure if we're going to rotate. Some people that have balconies on the port side are going to get this view or not, but right now everyone on the bow, on the back, or on the starboard side have got the view. So we are in Wrangell St. Elias National Park and Preserve. I didn't realize that today we would be in one of the national parks. So Hubbard Glacier is the largest glacier in all of Alaska. So this is a pretty impressive spot. I was like, yay, we're getting another glacier day. But whenever you hear what we're actually getting, it's so much more impressive than, oh, look, another glacier. I mean, glaciers are very, very impressive anyway, but I've been to Glacier Bay, and now, you know, we've been to the Kenai Fjords National Park, seeing glaciers there. But this, and I could tell from the distance that it was a very large glacier, and then hearing confirmation that this is the largest tidewater glacier in all of Alaska. It's pretty cool to see. Even if we're seeing it from a distance, it's absolutely stunning. So talking about how big Hubbard Glacier is, it is 6 miles wide. The part that we can see, of course, it goes up from there, but the part that's touching the ocean is 6 miles wide and it's over 400 feet tall. That is a very big glacier. And obviously it's been calving a lot because there is ice everywhere in the water. We saw some huge icebergs floating out, but there's just this massive ice field all around it. So this is as close as we can get, but there's a smaller expedition boat that's going out there. They're braving the ice and they are going out there. I didn't think they were at first because they were kind of hanging out where we were, but then they started going through and they're pretty darn close now. I think they're gonna go all the way. That's so awesome. It's like, how do we get on that boat? I'm wondering if it's an excursion that you can book from the ship to get up close. That's kind of cool. Okay, so the ship is making a complete 180-degree turn so the people on the port side can see the glacier as well. Us back here can see it from either side, but that is very cool. And I've always told people, it doesn't matter what side you're going to be on because there's beautiful views on both sides. And so at the Glacier Day, they are doing that rotation so everyone can see it. You know what goes perfect with a cold Glacier Day? Hot tea. They were actually doing tea time in the dining room right at 3 o'clock when we were approaching the glacier, but I was like, I want to be outside. I can go get tea on my own. Okay, I'm officially cold. I've been out here for, where's the clock? Over 2 hours on this pool deck. I have no gloves on. I have on flip-flops, so I did get a blanket to wrap around me. But Sophia's not done swimming. She's still in the pool. Another child has joined her, so she's not alone anymore, but she says she is warm in that pool and she is not getting out. She gets out every now and then just to look at the glacier and go, and then gets back in. So we have been sitting right here at Hubbard Glacier for about an hour and a half. So, you know, we sat still on one side of the ship, then the ship turned around and sat still on the other side so people can just enjoy the viewing. It's absolutely gorgeous. But Sophia's finally ready to get out of the pool, so I'm going to bundle her up and get her inside. But you can see from the back of the ship now, right over there, the glacier's behind me. So we're going to start sailing out of the bay and back into the ocean, and then we will be in Glacier Bay tomorrow. Good morning from Glacier Bay in Alaska. So right now, we slept a little bit late because that's what you do on a sea day, right? So Sophia is in the buffet area grabbing breakfast, and I've got us a spot right here on the Lido deck for now. And I'm surprised because they just came around and brought bowls of pea soup, because typically this is just served on the outside decks in the cold. But they walked around and said, would you like some pea soup? I said, of course I would. I love the pea soup. So anyway, we're starting to get those beautiful views inside of Glacier Bay, sitting here in the covered dome, eating pea soup. What a way to start the day. It's pea soup time. Let's see if it's as good as I remember. I love that stuff. I can't wait for Sophia to try it. They have what you wanted?
Mm-hmm.
What is your breakfast specialty?
Sausage and strawberry sauce. It's so friggin' good.
So are you excited to try that pea soup?
I don't know. It looks kind of, but it still looks good.
It looks gross and good at the same time?
Yeah, it looks like baby food.
Yeah, be brave.
It smells, oh my, it smells like a dirty diaper.
No, it does not.
I like it, but the smell is just,
Well, you've got yummy stuff in front of you, so it's kind of, you know. So in case you didn't know, the Dutch pea soup is something that you're only going to find on Holland America ships, and it is traditionally served on Glacier Bay Day. So this is kind of like those of us that have been to Alaska several times and we've sailed with Holland America, we know it's pea soup day. So me and Jason both really like the pea soup, and I just sent him a picture and said, it's time. time. It's pea soup time. So I enjoyed mine. Sophia just has too many other things in front of her to enjoy hers right now. But it's really good. And it's just an experience. Typically, we eat it outside where it's cold, and then you're eating that warm soup. But hey, we're inside, and they gave it to me, so I went ahead and ate it. But we've got beautiful views. Some people just saw a whale off the side, which is very unusual in Glacier Bay to see whales in here. But we're getting those really pretty scenes. We've got 2 hours of sailing in until we get to Marjorie Glacier. Okay, we are up in the crow's nest or the observation lounge, and there's a lot of people up here. This is one of those spots, like if you want to be up here, you get up here early in the morning and you claim your seat. We're not staying here. I just wanted to come up because this is where the park ranger is. This is where I can get my passport stamped. You can just hear good information. You've got beautiful views, but we're just going to hang out here for a little bit, and then we're going to go down to the bow. We've made it out to the bow of the ship. This is like the coolest place to come and view anything, because the bow is not open just any time. It's only open on special days, and Glacier Bay Day is one of those. It was open yesterday for Hubbard Glacier as well, but it's cold. So Sophia's like, I'm fine, I don't need it. I'm like, yes you do. So we've got on our hats, we've got on our scarves, we've got our gloves. Are you getting warm? So there has been a humpback whale spotting here in Glacier Bay, which I've never experienced before in all the times we've been here. So he was just hanging out on the side of the ship. He wasn't diving. You would just see the blowhole go over and over again. Where typically with humpbacks, you see the blowhole and then you see the tail as it dives. So this one's not diving, it's just hanging out and just... So we're approaching Marjorie Glacier, going straight ahead. So you can see it from a distance now, and you can see there's another ship over there already. So only one ship can be at the glacier at a time. So they have to time this to where, you know, one ship leaves and the next ship comes in. And only so many ships are allowed per day in Glacier Bay. So if you come to Alaska, you're not guaranteed to come here. Be sure and check your itinerary. We're seeing a ton of otters today. This is my 4th time in Glacier Bay, and I've always seen otters, but never like this. There are tons of them out there, and they're in pods, and you'll see like groupings of, you know, 10, 15 otters together. And we just saw some, they were just floating along the ice, and then they all just one by one jumped into the water. So that was really, really cool to see. So we've seen a humpback whale, well, we saw the spout of a humpback whale, and lots of otters so far. This has been a very good wildlife day, and we're not even to the main glacier. So we have passed 2 of the smaller glaciers coming into Marjorie, and Marjorie's straight ahead of us. So we've still got a little bit of time before we get there. Little tip, if you're going to come out on the bow, the front of the bow is very, very busy, but if you come back here to this little corner against the wall, like you can get a spot no problem, and you're going to see everything from here just as well as you can over there. And really nowhere else do you find water this color. It is the most beautiful ice blue color, and now I know why they call it ice blue, because it's an unusual color, and what that is from is all the glaciers that are breaking off and go into the water, because the glaciers will break and then they turn into glacial silt, and the silt is what makes this pretty color. It's cold, but it's just serene and beautiful. And like, I'm out here, I took my gloves off because it's really hard to operate a camera with gloves on. So I'll just put them on whenever it gets really cold, but I'm good right now. As long as I've got this on and this on, I'm all right. And my feet are warm. No flip-flops today. So we are sailing towards the back of the fjord right now, and the glacier that's dead ahead of us is the Grand Pacific Glacier. That's above water. And to our left is Marjorie Glacier, and this is absolutely gorgeous. We're getting close up on it right now. We're getting closer and closer as we go in. So what's interesting is we pulled up a map and actually had a good signal and could see the map, but right over the Grand Pacific Glacier, that's Canada, right there. Okay, so we've decided that we are going to move to the back of the ship, and we're going to run down to the room and grab her jacket. We're approaching Marjorie Glacier, but we've got time to make the move. So we stopped and got us some coffee and tea, and we've made it to the back deck. It is so much more chill back here. Number one, it's not as cold, because on the bow you're going into the wind, and it's a lot colder out there, and there's so few people out here. Everyone's packed out on the bow trying to see everything. Come back here, there's hardly any people, and you get the same views. So we just witnessed a bit of calving. We didn't hear it because usually you hear like thunder and then you see the piece of ice fall off the glacier. We didn't hear the thunder, but we saw it come off. And of course, and Crazy here is eating ice. But of course, the camera was not going at the time, and it's a split-second thing. It's very hard to capture, but at least, you know, I did get to see it with my eyes. And look at this view. I'm going to just kind of do like a 180 view and show you from the glacier and what's behind us, because we've sailed completely into this bay now, and it looks like we're surrounded. It looks like there's no like clear ocean in view how we're located right now. It's stunning. So I have my handy dandy little air thermometer here, and you can use it on your forehead or you can use it to tell the temperature of where you are. And I just kind of stuck it out towards the glacier and hit it, and it's 48.5 degrees. So that's the temperature right here in the middle of July. And so when you're not near the glaciers, it's a little bit warmer, but when you get up on these glaciers, I mean, you're sitting next to ice and you're floating in ice water, and it's a little chilly. So also just wanted to point out, we're seeing, this is a tidewater glacier, and you can see a large portion is coming down and meeting the ocean. But if you look up, the glacier goes way up into the mountains. So it's a very large glacier. Now what we saw yesterday was Hubbard Glacier, and it is the biggest glacier in North America. But Marjorie Glacier is a pretty good size too. And we can get a lot closer to this one than we could Hubbard yesterday. Oh yeah, hot tea on a cold day, perfect. So the beauty of this is we are here at Marjorie Glacier for an hour. That's awesome. So we spent a lot of time at Hubbard yesterday too. We're in a seated position. That doesn't make sense. We're in a standstill position. That makes more sense. So we're just in a standstill. We've stopped, turned off the engines, and we're sitting here to where everybody that's on the port side of the ship can enjoy the glacier view. Then the ship's going to rotate 180 degrees so everyone on the starboard side can enjoy the glacier. But those of us on the back can see it both times. You know, you think, oh, we're going to be here an hour. I've seen it. I'm good. I don't need to just sit here and look at a glacier. But I keep finding myself like going over to the railing and just taking it in. It's just, there's something peaceful. There's something beautiful. There's something unique about sitting and staring at a glacier, because it's not something you see every day. It's not something you experience every day. So just sitting there and watching it, it's just beautiful. And there's kayakers down there. I mean, what? A, I hope you're dressed warm. B, how the heck do you do that? Because, like, are you coming off the ship? Are you coming from that little expedition boat? How did you get there? Because you can't kayak in. Anyway, it's cool. I mean, I can just imagine the pictures that they're getting, because we're getting great shots from here, but they are really close. So the ship is starting to rotate. So right now you can see that the port side has got the view, and we're starting to turn. So everyone on the bow is going to get that very front view of the glacier, and then we're going to turn so everyone on the starboard side can see it. So the ship, it's making its rotation, and now the starboard side is beginning to see the glacier coming into view, and we're going to make a complete turn to where you can just sit here and enjoy it from the starboard side. So it's mainly for the people who have balconies. So whenever you're out on your balcony enjoying it on your own space, you know, that's why they do both sides. It is lunchtime, so me and Sophie have come inside. I've got us a table, and she's going to get her food. But how often do you get to sit at a table and look out the window and there's a glacier? Today on the buffet is Fish and Chips Day. This is fresh cod caught in Juneau, and then I have a Caesar salad as well, because you gotta eat a little healthy too. Give this fish a try. Yeah, I don't know where you're. Yum. Churros. So we've been sailing for a while now, and I just ran to get out here on deck 3 because there's John Hopkins Glacier right there. It is so beautiful. I just love this day, seeing all the beauty around us. So I was wrong. I do make mistakes. I never said I was perfect. This is not the John Hopkins Glacier. We are heading towards the John Hopkins Glacier now, but that is nicknamed Land Blue Glacier, and it is sort of a tidewater glacier. Like when the tide is up, the glacier is touching water, but right now the tide is low, and it looks like there is a sandy beach below that glacier. But we are heading into the John Hopkins Inlet right now, and we should be approaching our next big glacier for the day. Okay, so this is the John Hopkins Glacier. You can tell it's a lot bigger than the last one we saw. The colors on this one, so you've got the blues and the whites and the browns and the blacks all just like shimmering and mixed in together. It is absolutely beautiful. We have another ice field here, so we're not able to get closer to this glacier, and it is also a protected seal habitat this time of year because they are having their little pups back there, so we don't want to mess with nature in its natural course. But the sun has come out now. It was very cloudy this morning when we were at Marjorie Glacier, but now it is bright sunshine, and you can see the reflections of the glacier off the water. So pretty. So pretty. Sophia cracks me up. She's ready to go to the swimming pool. So she's got on her swimsuit and her robe, and we're out here looking at glaciers. She says it's not cold. It's cold. I just scanned the air again, 48 degrees. So the ship is making its turn right now to where the starboard side of the ship will be able to see Johns Hopkins Glacier. This area is so pretty. You've got like prismatic mountains over here. You've got an ice field, that beautiful blue water, and of course a nice big glacier. So we could see some seals. They're pretty off in the distance, so I can't get them with my camera, but I can see the little specks of seal with my eyes. There's a ton of snow up on the mountains still. It's a balmy 48 degrees out here. I just love it. It's 96 at home. This is better. So when you're here in Glacier Bay, they point out several named glaciers, but there are a lot of unnamed glaciers as well. So for instance, Johns Hopkins is on that side of the ship, but when you look up into that mountain that I said it's covered in snow, if you look, there's glacier up there. So you can tell the difference between snow, ice, and glacier by the color of it. So if you see that blue color up there, that's glacier. And I can definitely see blue up there. Well, you know what? Since I'm out here on deck 3, which is my favorite deck and is the walking trail, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do my 3 laps, which is a mile, because you know what? It'll warm me up if nothing else. And when else do you get to exercise in Alaska and have glaciers all around you? Never. So that's what I'm doing. Made it back up to the crow's nest before the pop-up shop for the national park closed, because I've been to Glacier Bay 4 times now and I'm just now getting the postcard and the pin. So my goal is to collect these postcards and pins at every national park that we visit, and one day I'm gonna do something really cool with them. I just don't know what yet. And so sometimes it's hard to get them. Like we went to the Kenai Fjords via boat tour. We didn't go to the visitor center, so I don't have one for there. And like I said, time number 4 does the trick. But yeah, the crow's nest has been like the hopping spot all day. There's still a lot of people up here because you've got those beautiful views in a climate controlled condition. But I'll tell you what, after being outside for a while and coming back in, I am hot. I'm about to go shed the sweater, put on something a little bit cooler, take my winter boots off, and chill inside the rest of the day.
This is my first time trying dive-in. Let's try the fries first, because the fries are made out of potatoes and I love potatoes.
They're really good fries, aren't they? Okay, let me get a shot of that burger before you cut into it. Show me. Oh yeah.
Can I eat it?
Yes.
Yummy.
I told you it was good.
Yummy.
We've had 2 great glacier days here in Alaska, and Sophia has really been enjoying the pool. So in the afternoons, going into evening, she's just been swimming. I've just been hanging out with her near the pool. But tonight we did go to a great show. It was called Move, and it was the complete dance show, but they used props, and just the way they did the dancing was really good. So I'll just leave you with some clips there, and we'll see you tomorrow in Skagway. Bye. Good night.
Living to the light and flaunt it, leaving everybody broken hearted. Oh God, it's a song. I can't